Wednesday, 7:45 at St James's Park. We have the repeat. Chelsea take on Newcastle just a matter of hours after we handed them a 2-1 loss in the Premier League. So to say that the Magpies will have revenge on their mind would probably be an understatement. But this Chelsea side, and Enzo Maresca especially, is a man who knows how to navigate a win. So it's one I'm confident for, but I'm even more confident because today I am joined by the big dog, channel fan favourite, the man, the myth, the legend, the best looking manager on YouTube and YouTube content creator. Can you give me any more?
No, I think you've done enough selling for that.
Eddie Hearn lookalike. This man,
Reece James.
if you thought Eddie Hearn was good at selling, this man could sell sand to the Arabs. He could sell ice to the Eskimos. It is Joshua Aveste. Ladies and gentlemen, come on.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
And can I just say, I've done that with a severe jaw infection.
Yeah.
So
We're talking about troopers. You are the trooper here.
how many?
You are the man that every man watching wants to be. That aspires to be.
And every woman watching wants to be with.
Yeah.
Can we just say how many hours with my doctor? And by the way, you're not just saying this. What was I doing last night at about 9 o'clock?
I can't tell them about that. We can't say that publicly.
The other thing I was doing.
You were in the hospital.
I was in the hospital.
Which is a bit of
last
a
night.
it's a bit of a joke, actually. Why are you here? What are you doing?
Do you know why I'm here?
The hardcore.
Because I like it hardcore. I went to the hospital last night. I called 101? 111. Called them. Told them, I said, look, I got punched in the jaw, blah, blah, blah. Fucking, like, it's getting worse. I've been on the antibiotics, whatever. Shit, how long ago did I take them?
3 hours.
Is that 3 hours ago? That can't be 3 hours just yet.
2.5.
So I'd take them, I drive home first, then take them. Shouldn't really
Good
drive
idea.
on them. Yeah, so anyway, went there, whatever, and they said to me, right, okay, that's fine. They've given me like double strength antibiotics and everything, but they said, like, what's your daily routine? I said, oh, like, I'm a boxer. They said, definitely don't be boxing, whatever. And I said, okay. I said, what about talking? They said, yeah, you can talk like how you are, because obviously I'm in there talking like that to them, whatever. And I said, I said, you know, like, do you go on YouTube ever? And they went, yeah. And I went, well, listen, like, I'm kind of a big deal.
Don't want to say I'm a big deal.
I don't want to say I'm a big deal, but 170,000 subscribers across both channels.
Yeah.
No, it's not even that. I don't think it is.
Yeah,
but
but
no. Basically, I said,
Why let the truth get in the way of a good lie?
Never let the truth get in the way of a good lie is probably my greatest ever saying, is it not?
I'm surprised there isn't a tattoo.
Yeah, well, carpe diem. But what I would say is they said to me at the hospital yesterday, keep the talking to a minimal. So what did we do?
We literally been talking.
We woke up this morning. We smashed out the kickoff. We came here. We smashed out a video, only the hour long.
Yeah.
We answered some of your fan questions.
And we've been chatting other than that.
And we've been chatting other than that. And now we are smashing out a Chelsea against Newcastle preview in the Carling Cup. So if that's not enough to give the video a like, then I honestly don't know what is.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've been on some Carling if you still think it's called the Carling Cup.
I have not had a drink in 12 days, my friend.
Well, I'm glad.
No, wait, not 12 days.
12 weeks.
When were we at the airport and I had that beer? How many days ago was
might have
that?
been 3.5 odd weeks.
Fuck off. It's not that long.
I think it might be.
It's
we went in Saudi like last week. Oh, no, maybe 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, that's pretty good, isn't it?
It's not bad.
That's not bad.
Is that the longest you've gone without a drink?
Outside of fight camp, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Because obviously in prep for the fights and that, I don't have a drink. I think like when I was fighting Most Wanted, I had the odd vodka here and there. Might not. No.
Well, on
offense
fight
to-
night?
No.
In between rounds?
Fight night after the fight, I got fucking smashed.
I saw this video of a Thai bar where they do boxing in the bar, and in between rounds they're like swigging beers.
Are you having a wind up with me?
No, I saw this video.
Are you?
Is that where you've been? Is that where you trained?
I'm 2-0 in that bar.
What's it called?
Reggae bar co-PP.
Is there only one? Is there only one where that happens in Thailand?
There might be multiple ones, but the one you're thinking of is Reggae bar in co-PP. And do you know what I'm going to do? Do you know what I'm going to do? Because no. Because this video, I've actually got time to edit it rather than just get it straight up.
You're going to put some footage in?
I'm going to overlay a bit of footage, right? So listen, yeah. So basically what they do is they get someone in the ring and then they raise that person's hand and they start going around the crowd and going, will you fight this guy? Will you fight this guy? So they've got this big lump, yeah? I'm talking big, like you'll see from the video. It's probably on screen now or whatever.
Much bigger than you.
Fucking 3 times the size of me. He was easy 6 foot.
What weight division would he have been in?
He'd have been a heavyweight. He was easy
Fuck
6.
off.
I'll show you the video in a sec. He'd have easily been a heavyweight. He was over 6 foot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this was, I don't know, what was this? This was 5 years ago, I think. It was just before the start of the pandemic, right? So anyway, I hadn't had that many fights at the time. I've had 13 fights now. I think I'd had 4 fights at the time. And I was looking at him and I was thinking, he's a big lump, but he don't look like he's a fighter, but you don't know.
No,
like,
you don't know.
You don't know whether he
Looks
can fight or
deceiving.
not.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was a big lump, but he more looked like a muscly fella, whatever. So they're going around the crowd. They haven't even pointed at me because they're thinking, oh, well, he's too small, sort of thing. So they're pointing at the big lads and whatever. And by the way, you get free drink if you
Free
fight.
drink all night?
If you fight, you get free fish bowls all night in this place.
off.
Yeah. So anyway, they've gone to go past me and they're pointing and they've gone on like the bloke's gone like that, and I went like that, and the Thai blokes looked like that and been like whatever, and I went whatever, and then I went in there and had a fight with him.
And
but
how did it go?
it went I was very respectful. I don't want to sound like a cock, but took it easy on him because no, being genuinely serious. As soon as I got in there with him, 1, we were both very drunk.
Yeah.
2, I was like, this is when I was like a shit boxer who used to like not live the life, not take it serious, drink alcohol all the time.
Did you have alcohol in between rounds?
No, not in between rounds,
Okay,
but
that's a shame.
I was highly drunk at the time of getting in the ring.
Okay.
And then as soon as I started throwing shots, I realised like, oh no, my hand speed's too good for this fella or whatever. So we sort of give each other the unspoken look, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna take it easy on you here. But he was a big lump. He was a big fella, to be fair.
Did you win on points or?
Eh?
Did you win on points?
Yeah. 3 rounds, 1 on points. Yeah.
Unanimous?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Josh, I dominated the fella. He didn't land a punch on me.
Were there 3 licensed referees there? Or was it
no, it's just some little shit. Wait, it's not a shithole. I love. If you've been to Thailand, you'll know that the absolute spot in Thailand is Koh Phi Phi. I absolutely love Koh Phi Phi. Just adjusting your camera a little bit there. How are you feeling about this match? Because obviously we have just played Newcastle, and to have the bit between their teeth is something that I would definitely say is relevant to this match.
I think much like a Thai boxing fight, I reckon they've been knocked down twice in the first 2 rounds. The 3rd round is coming along, and I think they're going to take this pretty seriously. And I think they're going to want to, knock us down. I think they're going to want to bust our jaw in themselves.
Yeah, and I don't think it's just for the fact that it's us and we beat them. I think it's for the fact of almost like showing something for the fan base, showing something for the fans. Because I think that, listen, we hear one main voice in general in Brian when it comes to our Newcastle connections, and that doesn't speak for the entire fan base, but I know even him himself is a loyal supporter that absolutely loves the club. But at the same time, I think, could we agree that his expectations are lower at this point now than they were going into the season?
They could be any lower at this point,
Yeah.
to be fair. The way they've played at the start of the season is so uninspiring. Some of those wins that they've got, you could argue they don't really deserve some of those wins. If you go back to the performances.
But it's the times when you get wins when you maybe don't deserve it, and they're the ones that matter, like us against Bournemouth 1-0. And I've always got to play devil's advocate. We spoke about Newcastle a few times, so we'll gloss over it very quickly. I've always got to play devil's advocate. I do feel for Newcastle because they've had their hands tied, and I grew up in a time when we were taken over, and it was just
We could have fun.
me and my dad had some of the memories of my life
So true.
during that takeover, as I'm sure you and your old man did as
But
well.
this is why
Shout
you and
out
I have
Josh's
been
dad.
shout out hugely for Josh's dad. But I think
Kev.
also they deserve that moment. I think they absolutely do.
They do.
And
They
you
do.
and
That's
I
the
are
thing.
you and I are exponents of this. We've been saying it for long. Just let them spend their money.
Yeah.
Let them enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
I would much rather they be right up at the top of the Premier League than Man City,
Exactly.
for example. Let's just enjoy it.
Because they're more of an actual club.
They're more of a
Like,
club,
they
yeah.
are more of a club. And this is the thing, yeah? Listen, I want Newcastle to lose against us. I want us to thump Newcastle and knock them out of the cup. I'll make that very, very clear. But at the same time, I want Newcastle to do well. And what they've got different to us is, you know, when we had our takeover, all right, yeah, we weren't like finishing. Well, we did finish top 4 in the Premier League once, I think, but we weren't competing for titles, anything like that. It wasn't that sort of thing, but we were a successful club, yeah? Vialli, Zola,
I mean, we were winning
Poyet and
FA
the
Cups.
boys, they were winning domestic cups.
Yeah.
They were winning European trophies of some description. 5 trophies in 5 years before the arrival of Roman Abramovich. And even before that, I wouldn't say that it was Ken Bates, wasn't it?
It was.
I wouldn't say that. Well, towards the end, it went a little bit sour, but it wasn't like it weren't Mike Ashley, is what I'm trying to say, right? And the Newcastle fans, the Geordies, had to endure a horrible period of time where there was a lot of toxicness around a very, in my opinion, positive city. I love the Geordies. Like, they're very nice people. Like, I really like them and whatnot. So if I could pick any club in the Premier League prior to this to have had a takeover happen, and it wasn't Chelsea, I'd go, give it to the Geordies. They deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, look, to sell out St James's Park, 60,000 seats every week. The atmosphere there is one of the best grounds in the entire country.
And they were doing that with Steve Bruce in the dugout and fucking Niall Ranger playing up front.
Oh, my God. Alan Pardew is the manager as well.
Isn't it the weirdest, like, career arc that... Oh, I don't want to sound really arrogant here, but, like, Brian got famous off of Niall Ranger.
What a moment.
And
he was making videos with an iPhone and an ironing board.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, like, when everyone's worried about the camera technology they're doing, he was filming videos with an iPhone.
Exactly. And if that is not a reason to start today, then start today, people. But what I'm saying is, Brian's career, which has blossomed and gone to heights that he would have never imagined.
One of the biggest YouTubers in the UK.
What?
The biggest.
Correct yourself.
Well, you can't say that officially because on subscriber count.
Yeah, but we all know that actually subscriber count doesn't matter anymore, because I can think of content creators with 3 times the amount of subscribers as me that don't do the same anywhere near the same amount of numbers. So that we leave that for another day. But what I'm saying is, Brian's the biggest YouTuber in the UK. But it's such a weird arc that his thing started from doing a video about Niall Ranger. Yeah. And it's like, this isn't me digging out Niall Ranger, by the way, but like, where the fuck's Niall Ranger nowadays?
So true.
And look at what Brian's doing.
So
like,
true.
If
you could
crazy.
have had a player at Chelsea that launched your YouTube career in the same way, thinking of sort of childhood Chelsea players that we might have hated, who do you think that would have been?
It would have been someone that I'd have been doing a rant on.
Yeah.
So it probably would have been...
Could it have been someone like Adrian Mutu?
No, because I thought Mutu was really cool, if I'm honest.
But then he did fuck it, didn't he?
Yeah, but I was like 10, so I didn't really understand what he was doing.
So
Do you
no
know
Mark
what I mean?
Bosnich then either.
No, probably not Bosnich either. I don't know who it'd be. Who would it? I'll tell you who it'd have been. Shevchenko.
Yeah, you could have ranted about him.
Fucked it, didn't he?
He did, but
For yourself?
I mean, I'm trying to think of a player that I really hated at the time. I've absolutely loved every single Chelsea player. I can't think of many players I hated. Player that I hate the most is probably Raheem Sterling. Maybe I'll do a rant about him.
Yeah.
In fact, I have done quite a few rants about Raheem Sterling.
Yeah. If I was to have ever done a rant that blew up online about a player that I just really didn't like, it would have probably been like... Azia Del Horno or someone like that.
He never
maybe
did anything that offensive, though, did he?
No, he didn't. Gallas at time. No, Gallas was good. No.
I don't remember him as
No, I'm
fondly.
dropping some howlers here.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But Newcastle in the cup, they will be absolutely desperate to get their hands on this trophy because it has been so long since they won a trophy. Oh my God, I don't even know when they last won a trophy. But in the cup, they have beaten us before. How many years
Have
ago?
they?
Yeah, how many years ago was the last time that Newcastle beat us in the cup?
But based on the way you were asking that question, I'm going to say...
Let me stop you because I want you to try and get this right. Don't base it on anything because then you're going to go, based on the way you're asking the question, I reckon it's 80
I can't remember
years.
many games that we've played them in the cup. So, do you know what? I'm going to go relatively realistic. I'm going to say 9 years.
You're not far off.
Okay.
14 years ago. And it'd be very easy for me to sit here and lie and go, oh, yeah, I remember the game. But I'm going to sit here and tell you the truth and say, I remember the game.
So who
mate.
was playing then for Chelsea? Can you go into that much detail?
Well, I reckon I could probably give you the starting lineup.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Carlo Cudicini was in goal.
Yeah.
Glenn Johnson was at right back.
What a player.
John Terry played.
Yeah.
Don't think Carvalho played. Not sure who was alongside him. Maybe William Gallas. Not sure who would have been in defence. Jeremy was definitely on the pitch. Damien Duff was definitely on the pitch. Kesman hit the bar in that match.
Wow.
People are gonna not believe me. Like people will get in the comments, yeah, and be like, "Oh no, he's gone back and found the footage." Well, I tell you what, type it into YouTube now because I bet there's not even footage of it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know. There might be. You
What
might
year
type
was
it in.
it?
You might. It was 2005, and I believe, right, and this could prove it all. I believe that it was maybe snowing that day,
Wow.
right? But before you do it and look this up, I'm going to offer you the chance to win 20 quid.
Okay, go on.
You haven't
I've
seen
not
anything yet?
seen anything.
Don't see anything yet?
I've not
Don't-
seen anything.
Right, get your laptop away because I'm
Okay.
going to pay you 20
Okay,
quid if you
go
can
on
get
then, go on
this.
then.
Newcastle beat us 1-0 that day.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a fact of something happened that day, and this is the reason why I remember this game so well. Who got sent off? John Terry? No. Jeremy? No, Jeremy got subbed off. Right. Carlo Cudicini gets sent off in that match.
Yeah. Are you getting the wallet out for a reason? Are you getting are you putting the cash down? He's got the cold hard cash. Okay.
Carlo Cudicini
Okay.
gets sent off in that
Yeah.
match. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is back in the day of free substitutes. We've made our free subs. And do you know what? I've already narrowed it down because I've
I know
told
who
you.
this is. I know who it is that goes in goal.
Who is it?
This was put on Chelsea's Twitter recently.
Oh, fuck.
And the player that went in goal, he wore Hilario's kit. Am I along the right lines here?
I didn't even know Hilario was at the club at the time.
He went off and wore Hilario's kit. He came on. He played for about 20 odd minutes in goal and actually performed relatively well. It's John Terry.
Yes! It's Glenn Johnson.
No, was it? I thought it was JT.
You're thinking of when Peter Cech
Was
went
that-
off injured with the head injury
But then-
against Reading.
But then no, I think that was a separate day because that was dark at night.
Mate, it was Glenn Johnson.
Was it?
Look it up now. Type in Glenn Johnson going in goal against Newcastle. And while
Okay.
you do that,
Okay.
I'm going to also speak to you about another time that Newcastle beat us in the cup. And now I want to know whether you remember this one. And I'm going to be completely honest, mate, right? I've got you lot always say, didn't you, that I've got this like was it a photographic like I just remember
Yeah.
pointless shit. Like that's why I'm able to tell you about that match. And when you look at this match of Glenn Johnson in goal, I bet you there's some snow on the pitch. That's what I've got to
It
remember.
is snowing.
Is it snowing? Is
yeah,
it snowing?
It's totally snowing.
There you go. There you go. Is it Glenn Johnson that goes in goal?
Absolutely is. I mean, look, this is the picture. Can you see it there?
That's Glenn Johnson going in goal. There you go. Oi, and I promise you,
Oh, mate, well
I promise
done.
you, I am always honest with you lot. This isn't a fucking PR stunt. I promise you, I do remember that. So how many years old is that? 20 years ago?
Yeah, well, 19 years ago.
19 years ago.
Yeah,
I got
that's the picture of him getting sent off.
Carlo getting sent off.
sent
Yeah,
off.
yeah. I remember it. Trust me, I
Wow.
remember. That period of my life was such a happy time supporting Chelsea that I just remember all of
Yuri
that shit.
Yarisic.
Yuri Jarosik
was playing that day.
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho was the manager.
Yeah.
Wayne Bridge got stretchered off.
Did he?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, Wayne Bridge was in big trouble there.
Yeah.
Mate, what a memory. I don't remember this game at all.
Yeah, it was I was about to say it was a midweek game because, cup games are normally midweek, but I feel like it was a Saturday. Alexis Martin. I feel like it was a Saturday afternoon. I remember sitting in watching it. Another time Newcastle beat us in the cup. Was a 4-3 thriller at Stamford Bridge. Last minute winner from Shola Amiobi.
Fucking hell. Blast from the past.
Yeah, but apart from that, not too many wins on Newcastle's favour. The last time we took a trip to St James's Park, we were beaten. Your boy, Raheem Sterling, scored an absolute screamer of a free kick. Yeah. Raheem slurring.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, on the old antibiotics. He scored a screamer of a free kick, but then we ended up getting battered, basically. Anthony Gordon gave Reece James a bit of a torrid time, and then in the end, Anthony Gordon? I think he will play, yeah.
He wasn't involved in the squad.
Well, he travelled, and they have, I think, until 4 hours. They list the squad, and then they've got 4 hours until the thing to make up to 2 inclusions because they're still assessing people how they feel. Yeah. And I think that Eddie Howe said that Anthony Gordon felt something in his groin and they just didn't want to risk him, sort of thing. I see. Okay, fine. Could have been a very different match if he had played because I do rate Anthony Gordon, although this season he hasn't been to the exact standards that he was season before. But he did give Reece James a torrid time. Reece James got sent off in that match. Now, I don't personally expect Reece James to play in this match, and we're going to get into our starting lineups very, very shortly. But can we just speak a little bit about the whole Reece James captain situation? Because Enzo Maresca had some quotes and the Chelsea community have had some reactions to it. So can I quickly read you out Enzo Maresca's quote?
Can you do it in Enzo's voice?
Italiano. I spoke with him and I expect more in terms of leadership inside the changing rooms. He's on his way, he's doing well, he's progressing, but I expect more. Most of the time, a player thinks that because I am the captain, I expect that you give me more. But no, for me, because you are a captain, you have to give me more. You have to give me more than the rest. That is what I expect. And from Reece and his teammates, I expect it from him to always give me more in terms of leadership.
Why is Mikel Arteta doing our press conferences now? I don't get it.
I thought that was quite good, was it not?
It was a really good Mikel Arteta impression. Really good.
You know I'm shit at impressions.
No, that was very good. I'm winding you up.
I can literally do one impression and one impression only.
It's Todd Bowley.
No, it's not even that. The American impression, people say it's good. I think it's rubbish. I can do one, right? Do you remember Ant and Seb from X Factor that done Mysterious Girl?
No.
You know, they go, one sings, he goes, whoa, 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 mysterious girl. And then his mate goes, move your body. Come on, move your body. Have you not seen it? But anyway.
But I don't, wow.
Anyway, in that clip, they're like, the panelists basically say no, you're absolutely shit.
Yeah.
And one of them goes, give us a chance, Simon. Come on, give us a chance. I know we can make it. I know we're good enough. And Simon goes, no, honestly. He goes, no. They called them Ant and Seb because it was like Ant and Sebastian. And he goes, they go, so who are you as good as? Like, who would you compare yourself to? And he goes, well, he's a bit like P. Diddy and I'm a bit like Usher. And when he sings solo, he sounds a bit like Rick Astley. And that's the only impression I can do.
Well done. Either way, that's a blast from the past.
Either way, what I do want to know from you is in this match, right, do you think from a tactical standpoint we've got an edge here?
Are we going to just go over the Reece James stuff? Are we just going to forget about that?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, go back to it. Reece James.
So mate, I like that Maresca's done it. I like that he's put the fire under Reece's belly. As I said in the last video we did, I think Reece James is big and strong enough to be able to deal with a bit of criticism and actually improve from it. And ultimately, we know that Reece James is one of our best players. And I think what Maresca was saying was that he wants to see not just his technical ability on the pitch, but his leadership on the pitch. He wants to see it on the pitch, off the pitch as well, and he wants to be inspiring players, getting each individual players better as well. And that comes from being a captain. You know, when we had JT as our captain, or Frank, they would inspire other players to become better. And that's what Maresca wants to see. We've seen it time and time again with Enzo. What he does best is inspires each and individual player within a team unit to get better, and therefore the team improves. And we want our captain to be pushing each and individual player on and improving. So I actually do think that if we do have more of a performing captain, some of these silly mistakes, these lapses in confidence and lapses in concentration don't happen.
Yeah.
And Reece has the ability to do that. And do you know what? The one thing that personifies it more than anything was that last-ditch header they had against Newcastle.
3
So
goal
good.
line clearances against Newcastle. I mean, only one of them was goal line, but there were still clearances that would have led to goals.
Yeah.
And I did think in his performance he showed that. Obviously, Jamie Carragher, being Jamie Carragher, who is the biggest Chelsea hater in the world, took the opportunity to slate him in the build up to the goal that Newcastle scored. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say that Reece wasn't slightly at fault for that goal.
Yeah.
I think that you can say that it's not a direct error from Reece, but if you're trying to identify the cause of where we went wrong for the goal, then Reece would be in that cause because he lets his man go. He's not quick enough to get back. The thing about Jamie Carragher going, he doesn't shout to Colwell to cover him, mate. Like, you're in a studio somewhere, like, and even if you were part of the 41,000 in the stadium, you wouldn't hear whether Reece does or doesn't unless you're front row in the Matthew Harding lower. Do you know what I mean?
doesn't have a clue.
Either way, you don't have a clue. You're just guessing with that. Yeah. What I would have liked to have seen is after the game, Jamie Carragher maybe make some comments on the contributions other than that one small disappointing thing that Reece James made to the game.
You can blame Reece James for that goal as well, by the way, because they played it through our entire team.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Reece that was at fault.
And why did they do it?
I don't know, you tell me.
Because they got a couple of great players at fullback.
Yeah, half decent players.
Yeah. Good
Was
academy,
it nice to see
good
them
academy
again?
schooling.
Was it nice to see those boys again? Did you have a little look at them? I clapped them. Well, Lewis Hall went off.
I'd give him a clap. Yeah,
I gave him a clap.
Yeah.
Gave him a little round of applause on the way off.
Who wouldn't
they
the
were
clap
really good.
for?
What, ex-players?
Yeah.
Oh, there's been fucking loads of ex-players.
Really?
Tell you who got a really good reception the other day was Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah,
Got a really good reception. And he deserved that because he didn't get a send-off. Who wouldn't I give a clap for? William Gallas, I wouldn't have clapped. He went and played for one of our rivals.
Spurs.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense at all, does it? Raheem Sterling, I wouldn't clap.
Would you not? Oh, I'd give him a little clap.
Okay, who else wouldn't you clap then?
You know, I wouldn't clap.
Tell me.
Mason Mount.
Yeah, I think he's burnt his bridges now.
I wouldn't probably clap Havertz, but I wouldn't like boo him or anything.
No,
like
I wouldn't
that.
clap Havertz.
Like whatever. But I tell you who I'll be giving the loudest clap to.
Go on.
Conor Gallagher.
Yeah.
Trevor Chalobah.
Yeah.
And
well, Trevor's still a Chelsea player.
There you go. If we ever played Petrovic, he's still a Chelsea player as well.
He is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably the most heartbreaking time in my life ever was when Frank Lampard scored that goal against us for Man City.
Oh, that was one of the worst moments of my life.
It was horrible. And do you know what? Can I honestly say this?
Yeah.
I think it was one of the worst moments of his life.
He didn't enjoy it. You could tell by his face.
I think that he was heartbroken. And I don't think there was ever a time in Frank Lampard's career with the 287,000 goals that he scored where he wasn't happy to score a goal.
So true.
And honestly, like, you could actually see the heartbreak on his face when that
Why
goal
don't they
went in.
involve these lads in the coaching setup? Like, why isn't Frank and JT? Because JT's all involved in the academy. But not in the setup.
Not too sure.
Right, should we do team
need to
sheets?
get onto the team sheets because you've got an important business call.
Well, there
so
you go.
let's go on to yours. We can see Josh's team sheet on screen now. Do you want to talk me through it?
I mean, this is the team sheet. We don't need to worry about yours.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Right, I've gone for Jorgensen in goal. I've gone Disasi, Tosin, Badiashile, Viega.
Yep.
Or Vega. I've gone Dewsbury Hall and Enzo. Enzo well and truly in the B team. I've gone Felix on the right wing. And then I've gone Carney through the middle as a number 10. Very excited to see him in that role. Hopefully he does play. Don't know why he hasn't been playing. I've obviously gone for my boy, Mikhailo, Misha Mudryk on the left, and then Nkunku through the middle. Now, I haven't seen your team, So why don't you let me know yours?
Mudryk has got a couple of good memories against Newcastle as well. I think he scored in a 3-2 win. He also scored the equaliser when we went through in the cup, and then Petrovic had his heroics. So I would too be starting Mudryk. You can see my team on screen now. Jorgensen in goal, and the most interesting thing about this is Jorgensen will actually be truly tested in this match because he's had Barrow in the cup. What do they have to offer in terms of attacking threat? I'll tell you the answer to that. Not that much. He has had Gen and Sever, and to be fair, Panathinaikos, and to be fair, out of all those teams, if you would have said to me, right, who are going to offer the least against us, I would honestly say Sever. But again, Panathinaikos and Sever were the ones that ran us the closest, gave us the toughest game, and even fucking beat us in one of them. But in this match, I know that Jorgensen will be tested. He will be put under pressure. There will be an intensity on this game because of the result that's just gone against him. And that for me means that this match here could be the perfect audition for Jorgensen. This could be the game where we really see whether or not he is pushing very, very hard to displace Robert Sanchez out of that first team. Now, backline, I've gone with Axel Disasi, Tosin Adarabioyo, Benoit Badiashile and Viega. I want Viega to invert into midfield where he will join Kane Chukwuemeka, Enzo Fernandez, and Enzo will sort of be at the base for me. So Kane can push on a little bit further, and I think that Viega will be there to sort of support Enzo Fernandez. And when we're in possession, we've got that sort of back three, as we've been showing in all of the games. That means that Tosin will be central, and then you'll have Disasi one side on the right-hand side, Badiashile on the left-hand side. I've gone with Sancho, Felix and Mudryk. Now, I've gone with Sancho because I really do feel, new manager bounce or not, Man United are there to be exploited. They are there to be got at, right?
Yeah.
And I think that Pedro Neto's showing the other day tells me that you can't drop him.
Can't.
And Sancho's been great. So I want to see Sancho in there. And then Nkunku up top, as always.
Yeah.
Nkunku, for me, is going to be a Kai Havertz style player in terms of through the time he's at Chelsea, he's going to be constantly being played out of position because I don't think that we ever really had Havertz in the right position. But then maybe Arsenal fans would argue that because they play him in the number 9 and they seem to think he's the best thing since sliced bread. So there we go. But I want to know, right, now we've seen the team sheets for the game and we'll just sort of wrap it up on this. Are we coming towards the end of the point where we start going now, oh, is it Lavia or is it Enzo? You know, is it, for example, Sancho or is it Neto? Or are we just accepting that we have 22 players who are all capable of being in a first team? And Enzo Maresca has accepted that, you know what? We've got, 30% of our games are going to be cup games if we go as far as we usually do in a season. And the other 70% are going to be league games. And for those 30%, those cup games, I'm going to start a certain set of players. For the 70% of the league games, I'm going to start a certain set of players. And the swaps will come as and when necessary, but not in high volume or great magnitude.
I think there will be movement. And I think we will see players get relegated from the first team and get promoted from the B team. I still think that will happen. But I agree with you. I don't think it will be every week we see a new player come in and come out. But what I'm worried about at the moment is there's a bit of asymmetry between the teams. And what I mean by that is you've got 2 right backs now in the A team that are playing. You've got 2 right wingers that are playing in the A team, which means in the B team, you're then going to have to try and fit in 2 left backs, which never really works. You've got to try and fit in 2 right wingers to a team, which again, we know that Sancho, really his best position is off the left. And so if he's going to be deployed in this game off the right, it's a bit of a shame because you don't have that sort of like out and out ability that we're looking from the right hand side. Yeah. So I like what he's doing. I think that Neto does have to be playing, for example. I like what he's done with Lavia. I think Lavia has more than earned his place. But what I'm worried about is that there's then a little bit of an unbalance between the 2 teams. And I don't think that's going to be it. I don't think we're going to be able to play for the entire season with that. But I do think there will be changes. But yeah, I don't think there'll be copious amounts.
Are you confident going into this game?
I was nervous before the last game.
But let's be honest, we should be confident.
We should be. But then we're going up to Newcastle this time, aren't we? This isn't at home. This is away. And that is not an easy place to go to. Under the lights.
I know
Wednesday night. Yeah.
Last time I went to Newcastle, I experienced a loss myself.
I know you did. So it's not easy. But we should be in it. We should have enough. We should just have enough.
Who do you think will run more, the Newcastle players or Cray Cray?
Exactly. No comment.
No, I'm joking.
I think they're going to be playing near enough their A team as well, by the way, which I am a bit more worried about. But
this
look
is
at
why
our B team.
This is why I feel though that we've got a tactical edge on them, right? Because style of play and whatnot, but Enzo Maresca has shown himself to be a very he's shown himself to be a manager that's very adaptable and has different ways. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And when you're trying to prepare for a team, it's very, very hard when the whole likelihood is you are not going to see more than one player feature in that game that you have seen feature at the weekend. So you might have been downloading information and data and writing up scouting reports on what certain players do and what they do, how they overlap and this and that and whatever, but we'll probably start a completely different starting 11 in that next game. So I think that we are going to have a tactical edge on them. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think we do. I think, look, we know that Eddie Howe is a fantastic manager. We know that, right? And I do think that their team is undervalued, really, in the grand scheme of things. They are, as you say, getting the results. And I do think that their individual players are pretty decent. So to say that this game is going to be a walk in the park is not fair. But we do have the quality in that B team to be able to beat their A team. And I think if you take that out of context, that will seem really, really harsh. But it's not. It's because we've built a fantastic squad, a squad which pundits before the season laughed at us, said that we'd spent too much money, that we'd packed it with too many players.
There'll be no harmony in the dressing room.
There'll be no harmony. How are all of these players going to fit in the dressing room? How are they going to fit in the training ground? Again, classic tropes that we've seen go through the media again and again and again. Lazy reporting. Because when you actually look at it, it's a squad of 26 players that are really good, 2 players for each position, which ultimately every squad should be. And the fitness is improving. We're not getting as many injuries, touch wood. Not getting as much injuries. So now you can say when we maligned the directors of football pre-season, now I think you're looking at it and going, they've built a really competitive squad full of young players that have the ability to grow and develop, and they are actually harbouring a bit of a unit, and we have so much depth. And I think you look at other squads in the Premier League now, and you say, on a squad basis, there aren't many teams that have as much quality as us. And I'm going to use Arsenal as a case in point. Arsenal will probably still finish above us in the league, probably. There's no guarantees on that. But they don't have as good a squad as we do.
No way. Absolutely no way. And to touch on your point there, listen, I'm not saying I don't agree with it because you can go back on our videos, yeah? When creators were making videos of everything's doom and gloom at Stamford Bridge, everything's going wrong at Stamford Bridge and whatnot, me and you were like, I feel like we were the voices of reason. Yeah. And I feel like this is why we've now grown the hardcore, the base of the hardcore, because they know that, despite the fact that realistically we're just 2 fucking mates that come on here and have a laugh and have a bit of fun and whatever, we share the probably what you'd call the logical man's perception on Chelsea and whatnot. And we don't just want to stick the knife in, turn the back on our club for the sake of a few fucking views. Do you know what I mean? Like, and when times were hard, although we were gutted at the performances and we were criticising and critiquing, what we were also saying is, listen, there could be method behind this madness. This player might come good. This might happen. That might happen. Now we're actually seeing it happen. I think it's very, very good, right? So I very much believe that. But at the same time, to play devil's advocate, and this isn't my belief, but it's worth mentioning, something Gary Neville said, and I'm sure he didn't come up with a quote, but good managers make good owners. And I think one of the best things that Clear Lake and Bowley have done is appointed Enzo Maresca.
But he said it though. He said it himself. Enzo Maresca said, this is a dream job. Yep. I'm coming into a system where I've got some unbelievable players. They're players that I want, that fit into my system and my style of play. And that's why I've been hired.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense for the squad. It makes sense for me. Everyone's a winner. So he said it. I think it, again, I do think it is slightly lazy to say, oh, this generational manager has come in. Like the CV for Enzo, this is something we also said when he came in, is not that long. So again, they've taken a gamble. They've looked at the data. They've looked at how he was in the interviews and his process. He came in, he knew every single player. He'd watched every single one of our games. So it was a running start for him. And he's done incredibly well.
Funny that there's a trend, there's a common trend here, isn't there? Because Nicholas Jackson hadn't done all that much in the game, had he? He hadn't shown all that much on the world stage.
10 games, mate.
Yeah, neither of Malo Gusto, actually, had he?
No.
And now he's coming up trumps.
Arguably, neither had Cole Palmer.
Neither had Cole Palmer, really, actually. In fact, did you know? Sorry, can I just ask you?
Yeah, please do.
Before we signed him, did you know too much about Noni Madueke?
No, I don't think many people did, to be fair. No. It's almost like they know what they're talking about.
It is, but it can't be. It can't be.
Well, they don't know
It
what
can't
they're
be
talking about.
because the media outlets who we're not going to name wouldn't lie. They wouldn't lie.
Yeah.
So when they looked at Enzo Maresca and said, you know what, he's our guy, even though everyone said, what? Look at the state of Chelsea. They're appointing a championship manager.
To be fair, right? This is a moment where we should really praise those two boys as directors of football. And obviously we've got the ultimate guy underneath him that watches all of our episodes that we absolutely love. And he's discovered Cole Palmer and Romeo Lavia, and his name is...
Shield Dog.
Shield Dog. I hope he does still watch us. Joe Shields, if you're watching this now, just give us a comment.
Yeah, give us a comment.
Give us a comment, because we love you.
Should I see if he's still following me on Instagram?
Yeah, go on, see if he's still following you. So yeah, I think we do need to give them a little moment in the sun, because the press, the media, all of the commentators, YouTubers, loads of people said that these directors of football didn't know what they were talking about. And I have to say, it's not just the start of this season, it was the end of last season. The transfers that they've made, the squad that they've built a really good squad. And yes, they haven't got everything right. And I don't think there are many people in this world that will get everything right. But you have to say, the majority of those transfers were magnificent. And so, look, they got a load of shit. I think they deserve a little moment in the sun. So congratulations to the boys.
Yes, he is still following me.
So there you go.
Shall I send him a message?
Send him a message and say, yo, Shield Dog.
Shield Dog, you're a genius.
Fancy a chat, X.
Nah, he won't be able to come on, will he?
No, but just say fancy a chat. Can we just take him for a drink?
You up, Kiss?
Yeah.
No, he's a genius, though.
Why don't you use your famous, quite frankly, infamous, some may say.
Yeah, infamous, yeah.
Why don't you use some of that flirting ability to get a drink with Joe in?
Start bringing people on.
No, not even on the podcast, just to have a drink with him. I'd like to just take him out and
because I'm 2.5 weeks sober. Thank you very much.
He might want a sober drink. You can still go for drinks and have sober drinks. Man.
Oh mate, what about the placebo effect? When we was in Saudi and me and Lawrence, yeah, we was having these Asahis, like non-alcoholic. We were sitting there. Fuck me, I'd have thought I was pissed. Yeah. Shit, I was talking.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, trust me, he was talking a load of shit. Because someone in the comments do some maths. Basically, the alcohol-free beers that you have in the UK, more often than not, do actually have a very small percentage of alcohol within them. So I want to know, if you were going to have as many of those as you could, how many would you need to get pissed?
80.
Well, someone will be able to tell us in the comments.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer.
Someone let us know. Score prediction?
I think it will end 2-2. But I think we win on pens.
I'm going to go 1-1 and I'm going to go Chelsea to win in extra time.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
Did it just go straight to pens?
I don't know if the Carabao Cup does go to extra time now.
Oh, no, it doesn't. You go straight to pens.
Yeah.
All right. 1-1 Chelsea to win on penalties.
Just copied me and my answers.
Well, not really, because you went 2. All right, 4-0 Chelsea. Have it that way. People, like, share, subscribe, head to Josh's channel. It's linked in the description. We love you lot, and we will see you in the next one. And guess what? We're back in here on Thursday to do the Man United preview. We cannot wait for that.
Not much has happened, really, in the Man United world, to be fair.
Nah.
That'll probably be a pretty short preview.
Yeah, there you go. Chelsea win. Easy. See you in a bit.